In just 100 days, Donald Trump has not only shaken Washington, he sent shockwaves across the world. This isn't just another term. This is Trump unleashed. Executive orders are flying out of the Oval Office at record speed. Over 140 already signed. That's more than any modern president at this point, and more than half of what Trump signed in his entire first term. But what's more shocking than the quantity is the content. Trump has slashed foreign aid, defunded global humanitarian programs, and reimposed some of the most aggressive tariffs in decades. Trade deals are being torn up. America's strongest allies, from Germany to Canada, are scrambling. NATO, once the backbone of Western security, is now being openly questioned by the very nation that created it. European leaders are preparing for a world where America is no longer dependable, where America first may now mean America alone. Take education. Trump's executive order to dismantle the Department of Education is not just symbolic. Thousands of contracts were canceled under the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, run by Elon Musk. Yes, Elon Musk. DOGE claims to have saved over $160 billion, but when pressed, they can only account for a fraction of that. National programs like NOEP, the gold standard in education assessment, were gutted. Data teams were fired. Testing for U.S. history, canceled. The long-term cost? A generation of students robbed of accurate academic measurement. Then there's immigration. Trump claims illegal border crossings are at their lowest in modern history, and yes, they are down. But at what cost? Thousands of migrants, including families and children, have been deported to unstable regions like El Salvador, many into prisons notorious for human rights abuses. The U.S. has been accused of violating international law, but Trump remains unapologetic. His message is simple. America doesn't owe anyone anything. And while he brags about $1.98 gas prices and 87% drops in egg costs, none of those claims hold up. As of April, no U.S. state had gas under $2.67. Egg prices have dropped, yes, but by 52% in only wholesale. Retail prices are still higher than they were when he took office. But numbers only tell part of the story. Trump's real impact is on America's soul. He signed orders banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports, dismantled DEI programs across federal agencies, and redefined gender identity as sex assigned at birth, triggering lawsuits from civil rights groups and multiple federal court injunctions. The consequences are tangible. School districts are confused, civil rights offices are overwhelmed, and teachers are afraid to even mention topics related to race or gender. Internationally, things are just as volatile. Trump has threatened to annex Greenland, retake the Panama Canal, and even make Canada the 51st U.S. state. He's openly praised Vladimir Putin while yelling at Ukraine's Zelensky behind closed doors. NATO allies are losing faith. Germany's chancellor-in-waiting said it plainly. It's 5 minutes to midnight for Europe. South Korea is considering building its own nuclear weapons. Japan has already started shifting defense policy. Even neutral countries like Denmark are outraged, asking, what are we supposed to believe anymore? Meanwhile, Trump's economic policies have triggered market volatility not seen since the early days of COVID-19. With over 60 countries now facing retaliatory tariffs, global trade is grinding into uncertainty. The World Bank has warned that Trump's tariff wars could shave off more than $1.5 trillion from the global economy by 2027. The U.S. dollar is weakening, inflation is rising again, and confidence in American leadership is collapsing, both at home and abroad. But perhaps the most chilling part of this 100-day whirlwind is how normalized it all seems. Mass pardons for January 6th rioters, attacks on judges and journalists, threats to pull funding from states that don't comply with federal ideology. The rule of law itself is bending. According to a Reuters Ipsos poll, over 55% of Americans, including 20% of Republicans, now believe Trump is too close to authoritarian figures like Putin. And yet the base remains loyal. So where are we headed? Experts warn that Trump may be laying the groundwork for a new global order, one where power is transactional, allies are optional, and might makes right. He isn't just disrupting diplomacy, he's redefining it. And the rest of the world is taking notes. China is stepping up as the new, reliable partner. Russia is exploiting the cracks in Western unity. And smaller nations? They're being forced to choose sides in a world that's suddenly less stable than it's been in generations. This is not just about Trump. This is about the future of global leadership, the strength of democratic institutions, and whether the values that once defined America can survive a second Trump presidency. The damage done in 100 days may take decades to repair, if it can be repaired at all. The clock is ticking, and the world is watching. If you like the video, then kindly subscribe the channel